Hey, what's going on, sirs and madams of the internet? This is Broseph of the Bro Gamers, and once again, the illustrious bunny of Plasma Girl is joining me.
Hello.
Say hi. Yes, I let her out of her cage to talk. What we're gonna do, what we're doing today is our second question and answer session. We have between 6 to 8 questions from the community that you guys wanted to hear about that we picked. Depending on time, we'll see what we can get to. We have a bit of a history of rambling, so we'll try our best to avoid that. I'm not sure we usually go ladies first. Bunny, would you want to take the first question?
Do you know what? I'll let you go first for once.
Alright, we're going to start with a question from Greg Stadenham. There you go, Stadenman. Who would you date from a game and why? In regards to dating, I try to think a little weird into these questions. Like, would they treat me right? How much would they appreciate me? What would be the odds of intimacy with said character? I try to think of the full relationship dynamic. I would think, Lara Croft would be a great pick. She's very intelligent, very well off. Like, yeah, she'll leave you for months at a time for an adventure, but you have plenty of her resources to play with back home. And she's in great shape, and I'm sure you could figure out where there would go to. So I would probably go with Lara Croft, personally. That's the first one that comes to mind. Bunny, you're up.
Damn it, now I want Lara Croft.
You have to pick somebody else.
It's pretty obvious who I'm going to pick. You told me off for this, but I would pick Altair from the first Assassin's Creed.
Why?
Again, I would like to point out, he does a lot of climbing and running and stuff, so he'd be pretty fit too. Also, I got nothing. I just would like to. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
Okay, well, we know what Bunny's thinking with. I would like to point out that Altair was a bit of an asshole, so he probably would end up treating her wrong, but, that's on her.
No, hey, he married, and he had, a lovely wife and stuff, so I think he would be nice if you settled.
That first side was always there, though. You never fully get rid of the asshole.
In fairness, spoiler alert, he kinda did get it killed, so. Yeah, there is that.
Fantastic. Alright. Yeah. Greg, thank you for that question. Alright, Bunny, if you want to go ahead and do one from your side.
Okay, my question is from Just Some Bear, which is a Facebook page. And they asked what our favorite multiplayer experience was. Now, I don't really play online that much, but I kinda like this question because I have quite a good answer for it. My answer in regards to, the game Journey, which, if you've played it online, it's amazing. And I met a traveler, and I went through my whole journey with them. And there's a part near the end where you have to hide under, little, rock things. So these big monsters don't get you in their searchlights. If you get in the searchlight, then you die, basically. And we were hiding in this, little tunnel-y thing. And that my partner, ran out. And of course you can't talk to them or anything like that. So I was, pressing the squeak button at them, no, don't do that. And, they got into one of the searchlights. And honestly, I watched them die. And I was so upset. I was, actually went all the way back down the mountain to try to find them. And they disappeared. And I continued our journey without them because I missed them. I just sent them a message when I'd finished, oh my god, I cried because you died.
Wow, you actually checked up on the adventurer in real life.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
At the end it tells you, who you were playing with, and I was like, that was that guy. And I was like, I love you, I'm sorry you died.
I'm sure that made that person's day to get.
They never replied to me, I was upset about that.
Wow, you're sitting here crying and they can give less than 2 fucks. That's pretty sad.
Exactly.
In regards to multiplayer, for me, I am also not the hugest multiplayer guy. I will play some third-person shooters online now and again, like Gears, Transformers, Army of Two, the different, third-person is more of where I feel comfortable at. In regards to good memories, I would say Transformers War for Cybertron brought good memories. It was a very unique feeling in multiplayer thanks to the transformations, the different abilities, and for once, I actually kicked ass in a game. Usually I am the bitch being tossed around in multiplayer, and for once I actually got to kick people's asses and be on top of the leaderboards now and again, so it actually felt nice to be on the other end of multiplayer for a change.
Cool.
Thank you. I got one from Eric the Stash Garrett. His question, what are your thoughts on video games, the film adaptions, do they need to be perfect in detail, or do you simply get excited just from the announcement, or the delivery, if you will, of it being done? I would say that it should be true and capture the spirit of the property, but it doesn't need to be exact in detail. When you're making a movie, it has to have mass appeal to the moviegoers, or else the thing's going to fucking tank financially, and no one's going to want to make a video game movie. At the same time, you need to balance it so you're not shitting in the fan's mouth, and the property feels like the property. And I'll use the Final Fantasy movies as an example. The Spirits Within was a complete fucking turd. It was boring, it was dull, it didn't feel like any of the fucking entries in the series. It was just an insult to actually go see that movie. While Advent Children, while it was a little cloud heavy for my liking, it was very faithful to the property. It felt like Final Fantasy VII's universe, it felt like the game series, you felt that spirit, if you will, of the property, and that's the good way to do it. So I think there has to be a balance between accessibility of the modern masses who go to movies and the fan base that would support it in the first place. Bunny, what is your take?
See, I don't really watch that many movies. But to me, a good movie adaptation would, again, be like truthful to the games. I mean, there's no point saying it's like book to film. There's no point cutting a lot of crap out, all the important shit, because that's just, well, you need that kind of thing. Also, doing it on a budget does not work. I would like to point that out. Take one of the Lara Croft films. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the second one. I think it was The Cradle of Life, and they had these like monster things, and it was like, oh god, they're so awful looking, like CGI wise. Just, I would rather have them had a guy dress up like a monster and gone, grr, I'm a monster, than that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, and like the Pandora's box thing on like the, I don't know what it's supposed to be, it's like a like bubbly tar stuff, and that just looked awful too, and I was like, oh my god, it's just so lazy and like cheap. Just don't do it.
That reminds me of Mortal Kombat, the second one, that they had the claymation dragon transformation.
Yeah.
Just absolutely horrible. I mean, like you said, rather dress up in costume than actually show the piece of shit that they showed.
Yeah, I would, definitely.
Exactly. Alright, Bunny, your turn for a question.
So, this one is from Undead Poo Snow.
Awesome.
And it's not a gaming related question. It's, if you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be? Again, I feel like my answer's kind of obvious. I would meet, either Jensen Ackles or Misha Collins from Supernatural, because I would cuddle the crap out of both of them.
Of all people in the world, all the brilliant minds, all the amazing people, you choose the fucking guys from Supernatural.
Yes.
Do you want a moment to rethink your answer? Or
No.
we're sticking with that?
No, I'm fine. I would meet the
Are
entire sexy cast of Supernatural, but it said one person, and I picked two, so. Yeah.
Alright, I will do my best to stomach my response to that answer before I vomit.
Yeah.
That's fine. In regards to meeting any one person in the world, this was a very tough question. I just edged it to Stan Lee. I know many people get to meet him at conventions and whatnot. I have not had the luxury to do so. To see just someone who's so vital to nerds as a whole. Like, there's certain men and women that just are iconic to our nerddom. Like the Miyamotos, the Stan Lees, the people in various nerddoms that just give us these things and set into motion our culture as nerds. And to meet one of the visionary minds that was responsible for so many comics and movies and games, that everything that came from his universes, it would just be a true honor and a delight to meet that man. So there's my non-cuddle-based answer.
Fair enough.
Yes, respecting the mind instead of the body. Bunny, yours?
That was my question, yeah. God,
the joys of old age and bad memory. I really am, and it's leveled up.
You're old, and I'm kind of drunk, so this is a good combination we've got going here.
Alright, as we clumsily stumble along, there was a question from Michael Martinez. What games do you feel were underrated and that would benefit from a reboot? Very good question. Like we saw with Tomb Raider, what a good job a reboot can be when done properly. I would go back and say, ooh, this is tough, because Killer Instinct is already happening. That would have been my original answer. Parasite Eve. I'm going to go with Parasite Eve. It was definitely not the highest selling of games, which it should have been, because it was fucking fantastic. But it definitely could come back with a reboot. You know, the female lead, I think, would be nice to see. She's a quality one. The universe is great. The mix of science into the storytelling, you know, I think it would tell a nice, intelligent story. We need more of those in gaming. I'm definitely going Parasite Eve.
I would pick, actually pick a Tomb Raider game. I'd pick Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. Because it's such a good game. The story's really good. The controls, they're a bit crappy, but that was, iconic for the Tomb Raider games of that sort of, before everything switched over and it, all the companies kind of swapped over and stuff like that. So, but if you haven't played it, Angel of Darkness, it was a PS2 exclusive, I think. I don't think it was on anything else. It might have been for PC as well, I'm not sure. But it's just so good. I mean, yeah, it's not really tomb raiding per se, but the story's really good, and if it was just cleaned up with even the graphics are pretty good, I have to say. If it was just cleaned up a little bit with the controls, it would have been amazing. It's still my personal favorite Tomb Raider game. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Did you have any other questions on your palette? Because I had one or two left on mine.
I have one. It is... Okay. Someone wants to know our nerdy origin stories.
All right, madam. Would you like to go first?
So this question was basically not specifically gaming related, more what got you into all the geeky stuff that you're into, basically. So gaming, any TV shows, movies and stuff like that.
Exactly.
My dad was really into all his, I'll say this. My dad was really into Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate, all that stuff. Everything began with Star for some reason. So I grew up watching Star Wars. I watched a bit of Star Trek. I didn't really like it. I watched Stargate, the very first series, and I really liked it. I don't remember any of it, of course, because I was quite young when I watched Star Wars and stuff like that. But that kind of set me up. And my dad would I'd sit on my dad's knee while he was playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. And that kind of, I was I want to play this. I remember him playing Doom as well. And I wanted to play that. He was teaching me the controls. And when I was really, really little, I was 5 or 6, my brother was teaching me how to play Sonic the Hedgehog, which is the very first game I ever played on the Sega Mega Drive. And I just liked the colors. I didn't really like the game. I was pretty colors. Ooh. I was 5. Give me a break.
I was going to say, some things don't seem to change with age, but that's fine.
Cheeky shit. But then I got older and I got very much into my gaming. Because it was I just, somewhere I could go and be someone else, if that makes sense. I'm not me anymore, I'm a soldier, or I'm Lara Croft, and I'm raiding tombs and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's being someone else. So I'm very good at projecting myself onto a character. I also started, World War II reenacting when I was 16. Which was really, it's the best few years of my life. It was amazing. Even though I was doing it with my now ex-boyfriend, it was just amazing. There was nothing better. It's like Call of Duty in real life. That's how I explain it to people. What's reenacting like? Call of Duty in real life. You have blank firing guns, there's tanks rolling around, there's planes going overhead, and you're just shooting at people and pretending to die and falling out of jeeps and stuff, and there's a huge crowd watching. It's amazing. It's really good. I love it. And then I got out of that, and there's a big gap really where I was just playing video games. And recently I've gone into cosplay, so yeah.
Hey, I would like to put a little disclaimer, whatever the proper phrasing is. Her selling of that as Call of Duty in real life, I took that as a bunch of 11-year-olds saying, I fucked your mom, fuck your bitch. So that's not necessarily what I would want to dive into. I'm sure it's not what she meant, but that was the mental image that I had when she said that saying.
The good side, if you play Call of Duty and you mute all the other players. all the other players. Well, see, the thing is, I played, this is gonna hate me now, I played on the German side. I was Luftwaffe. So, I was the bad guy apparently. But you would be surprised how many people especially in England, portray Americans. So it's kind of fun having people like pretending to put on American accents and shouting at you and stuff like that. It's quite fun, but yeah.
All right. I will censor myself in the 7 things I could probably say to that. In regards to the nerdy origin story, I will keep mine brief. Little Broseph was a little dork loser in grade school. Well, not the loser thing didn't really change, but I'm happy with it now. As a kid, I was picked on, bullied, beat up, that cliche token little loser story. And nerddom was an outlet for me, getting to see nerdy movies, playing nerdy games. It was a retreat for me from normal life. And I think it's kind of funny that today we're seeing a lot of this, GTA makes you kill and Bulletstorm will make you rape and all this crazy shit. And it's, the farthest from the truth for mentally sane people, at least, that for me, it saved me from wanting to do fucked up shit, because I can vent these things out of my system in games. I could be the hero, I could be the badass. It was at least a little bit of an emotional, it was basically a soothing mental experience for me as a youngin' who was picked on. And since then, I just loved it, and the love never faded, even as my personal life got better. And today I'm very happy that my little boys enjoy some of the nerdy things. We have little, like Captain America and Hulk, fist fights. We're sitting there like Avengers fighting each other for training. We're playing video games, and I'm helping raise part of the next nerdy generation. So that is the story and the next chapter, if you will, of my nerdy origin story. We got, let's see here, we can do one more, it looks like. Yeah. This one's from Aaron Jones. He brings up an interesting issue. How do you feel about the simplification in gaming and how it will affect the RPG genre? For those who aren't familiar with that phrasing, I'm going to explain that real quick. The simplification basically means when you're taking RPGs, which are traditionally a complex medium, tons of stats, a lot of technical knowledge, required, very in-depth universes, and then you're dumbing them down, so to speak, so it's more accessible to the general public. That is simplification. Bunny, do you want to take the answer first, or did you want me to lead off?
I'll let you lead off, because I think I might have to add just to what you say, so...
No, alright. In that note, we actually, before we did the recording, Bunny and I joked about, we are the reason, and I apologize to you all, that that simplification exists. And what I mean by this, a lot of people criticize Skyrim as being, the dumb version of Oblivion. That a lot of everything was retooled and redone to basically fit the dumber gaming masses that could handle an easier game in a less complex, format. I was the idiot who died repeatedly in Oblivion. I mean, embarrassingly so. And it was very, daunting for me. I was that, jackass. When I played Skyrim, I was like, oh, I can understand this. I can do things. And I was able to enjoy the game. Simplification, obviously for someone like me, is a good thing because it allows me to play more games. I can understand them easier. I can enjoy them. Now, I don't want it getting to a point where RPGs feel like first-person shooters. And by that I mean where the FPS genre is very simple. Run forward, watch explosions, dangle keys in front of your face, shoot a couple guys, and continue. RPGs, they need that depth. They need that relative level of intelligence. So I think it's a balancing act. You want to make it accessible so the game will fucking sell. So, you don't have homeless developers losing their fucking jobs and shit. But you obviously need it to be intelligent enough where it's not, watering down what makes RPGs special in the first place. So that would be my general synopsis of that.
I have to agree with you, really. I mean, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I'm not smart. I'm not a smart person. I played Skyrim before I played, cause Skyrim was the first Elder Scrolls game I played. I know, I'm sorry.
Boo, get her off stage.
So I played Skyrim, and everyone was like, oh, if you like Skyrim, then you definitely like Oblivion. Like, Oblivion's like the best one, apparently. So I bought Oblivion, played it, and I was like, I literally have no idea what the fuck I'm doing right now. Like, literally zero idea. I've tried and started it again 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, I still have no idea. Like, at least when you start Skyrim, you get what's going on. Like, they're gonna try and kill me, and then a dragon appears. Oh no, escape from the dragon. And then you gotta, I'm stupid. And I liked the fact that Skyrim was easy for me to understand, the whole menu system and stuff like that, and I like simplicity.
Awesome.
For me, fair enough, don't make it too simple. Leave some some difficulty in there, but I shouldn't have to like read up on what certain things are and ask people what this thing does because it's not clear in the game. Like, you know, I personally focus more on stories when I'm playing a game, so I don't really care, but at the same time, you know, it's not really important for me to understand what's going. Well, I have to understand the story, but not. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not that important.
I think what you're trying to say is that the system shouldn't be over complex, but the story should be very powerful and in-depth.
Is what you should remember, as opposed to shit. That system was really hard to, you know, sort out. Whatever.
Exactly.
Then again, I don't really play that many RPGs, so.
Yeah, you and your damn assassinating. We know. Usually, we end these recordings with some kind of general thought or fancy outro. And I'm going to take this moment. Bunny can do the same if she likes. She doesn't have to, because this is on the spot thought. A public service announcement to all gamers. Don't fucking spoil games within 1 year of release.
Thank you.
At all, ever, under any circumstance, okay? I've seen several instances, and it's actually happened on Bunny's page, no less. Where somebody, I'm not going to say what it was, and I'm breaking my own rule there, involving BioShock Infinite and something vital to the emotional impact of the story, and detailed it to a gross extent, where it completely taints, you know, the experience for anyone who would read it that was going to play it later. That is a form of heresy in gaming, as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, just be courteous to your fellow gamer. You know, I don't expect you to worry about spoiling Final Fantasy VII. You know, there's a window of time that you're due to understand what's going on, but you gotta at least give it 1 year to not spoil a goddamn
I definitely
game
agree. As well, the same thing though, if it has such a huge, massive plot point like BioShock, like all the BioShock games have, don't fucking spoil it to people if they haven't played it yet, you know? I make it a personal point not to talk about BioShock games in depth, because I don't know if you've played it or not, I don't know how far you've got, but there is massive, huge, punch you in the face plot twists all the way through, like all three of them. The second one, not so much, but definitely one and Infinite.
Yeah.
Don't fucking talk about it. Don't give a shit who you are. So I've saw a lot of people on my page say, oh, I kind of like spoilers. But I'm like, me personally, I fucking hate them. I hate spoilers. I hate people who think it's cool to spoil games for people.
Hold on. People actually said they liked spoilers.
Well, people said that it made them want to play the game more, like, to understand the spoilers sort of thing. But
okay, for people on my page, don't spoil shit. I'm gonna go ahead and
No,
just
people
say
on my
now.
page too. If you spoil stuff, honestly, this is the serious I'm gonna be now. I will ban the shit out of you instantly if you try even jokingly spoil stuff for people, because it's not funny. It's not cool. It's just sad, really, because all you're doing is ruining something for someone else. You wouldn't like it if someone spoiled something for you. Don't do it to other people. It's not fair.
Damn right. I feel we just did our little service to the community.
We did.
To all of you from the Plasma Girl community and from the Bro Gamer community, I thank you for your time. I'm sure a lot of you came in to hear Bunny and her lovely accent, and, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure that's sort of the major appeal here, but thank you for dealing with me along with her. And, you know, thank you for your time.
I want to just say as well, congratulations to the Bro Gamers for reaching 10,000.
Hit 10,000 community members. I never use the term fan because I feel
you know, like I have like 8,000 like assassins. So
exactly, you have a term that means something better. Because we love you people.
We do love you people.
And in my case, it's a non-violent platonic love, so nobody get freaked out at the big, hairy, sweaty man chasing you. You're fine. That is not going to happen. It's platonic, you know, distance internet love.
I just love everyone, so.
Especially with wine, and she has several glasses in her, so this would be the time to get the bunny love. Anyways, before we ramble too far, again, thank you guys. You're the reason that we do what we do, and you guys make our work on the pages definitely worth it.
Definitely.
All right. Live long and prosper and all that happy nerd shit. Adios.
Bye.